Please, if you're on the call, if you're live now, just put it in the comment section where you are calling in from, where you are joining us from. And you're welcome to the Visionary ChitChat with Tenasha, with Tenasha Sejuma Jesu, the mindset fixer. You're welcome. You're
Yay!
welcome to the Visionary ChitChat. Oh my God. Okay, the way Toluwakemi himself is even excited.
Oh my god.
It's gingering me. You're welcome, everybody. Okay, I've not seen anyone yet on the call, but if you are joining in already, as you are joining in, please just write where you are joining us from. Nigeria, Dublin, Ireland,
Yes.
India, South
Yes.
Africa,
Yes.
Ghana, right?
Yes. 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 Yes.
So please just
Keep on.
just
Keep
drop
on. Keep
that.
on.
Uh, all right. So the visionary chit chat. We had the first session this morning with Della, Abayomi Della, and it was amazing. Really,
Oh my
she
god.
broke some tables, some mindset tables. She poured of herself, really. And you know,
Wow.
after the session, when I was just looking through my journal, I was like, wow, like, oh my God, Teju, this is so awesome. I had to just sit within that short moment to just, okay, Holy Spirit, what other strategy are we doing now? What are we doing for the now? Where are you looking at now? What do you want? What is your mind for what you want me to do now? And for the now, just to stay aligned with him, because really, as a visionary, you can't do it without God. Although
Exactly.
there might be some other visionaries out there who are saying that, okay, it's wisdom and it's their own strategy that is helping them. But if you want to pass the message God wants you to pass to those He has sent you to, you need God. He is your source, and you need to stay connected with Him every time, every step of the way. You can't do it yourself. To be with God, be in God, and enjoy God, and just enjoy yourself in God. Trust me, enjoy
Yeah.
yourself. So
Yes.
today, drums roll. We are having one of my sisters, one of my favorite friends, one of my sisters, one of those who inspires me. As a visionary also, you can't run this journey alone. You need to surround yourself with people that inspires you. Because if you feel that, okay, I'm a visionary, and it will inspire me, how do I put it? There will be a time where you become obsolete, because those people around you will challenge you. They would challenge the best out of you, that wow, oh, this person is doing it this way, that means I can do something like that. I can rebrand myself. I can work on the strategies I'm using. I can do this. But if you feel you are the champion, or you have arrived, a visionary, a sustainable visionary doesn't act that way. You have to surround yourself with
Exactly.
structures that and people that challenges you. Sometimes I look at Toluwakemi's WhatsApp status, and immediately I would make sure I make my comments, only if I don't see that stuff, because she challenges me. I've learned a whole lot behind the scene, and I'm still learning. I don't want to say we die here, but really we die here and we live.
Wow.
Because Toluwakemi is the bomb. Who makes WhatsApp ATM machine? Like, seriously, who makes an online course out of WhatsApp? Maybe the WhatsApp you will know is just to chat, to say hello, hi. You do not even ask the voice. Toluwakemi has an online course with it. She has a community with it. She has over 2,000 views, and not just Nigeria. She has South Africans, Ghanaians, Kenyans, and she's a global brand. Like I call her, like she's a global lady. She is a global lady, and I'm not saying this because she's here, but really that is who she is to me. She's a global lady, and really I'm taking the front seat and say, go Toluwakemi, go Toluwakemi, go. All right, so I'll be reading our profile now. Okay, so if you are joining, if you're on the call, please don't forget to drop where you are joining in from. Don't forget to drop it. We'd love to read it and to see it and to welcome you. All right, so I will be reading now. Toluwakemi is a multidimensional woman in ideas aimed at improving people's quality of life. Graduated from the famed Obafemi Awolowo University, where she studied management and accounting. Wow, are you kidding me? How did accounting and WhatsApp, how did they come together?
Oh my God.
We are still going to ask that, still going to answer that. Okay, during her undergraduate studies, she acquired certificates in human resource management and business management from reputable organizations. She is also the organization set up to empower, enlighten, and bring innovative ideas and concepts to life. Toluwakemi believes in the power of personal development, and she's an advocate for self-awareness, which prompted her to start Youth Development Health Creation, where she helps individuals of themselves. She is also a social media enthusiast and a micro-influencer with over 2,000 plus views on her WhatsApp platform, where she posts inspiring, educative, and engaging content, and, and more than 380 subscribers on her YouTube channel, where she shares about her growth journey. She serves as a coach, business consultant, public speaker, teacher, and author of 4 books. For leisure, Toluwakemi enjoys reading, seeing movies, and engaging her friends in thought-provoking conversations. With joy in her heart, with gang, 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 I will welcome the global. Come, Toluwakemi.
Wow.
You have the floor
Wow.
now.
Wow. 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 Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Big Sis. You know, I call you Big Sis because that's the way I
Big
see you,
sister.
sincerely. Big Sis, oh, I'm so grateful. Let me just say this real quick. I'm super grateful for the opportunity and privilege to be called, like to be your friend. There's one thing I say a lot, and it is the fact that I always count it as a privilege to be able to do purpose with you and a few of my other friends, right? Because I've been in that place whereby I didn't have friends, so I knew how it works. So that is why the opportunity to have this is a great privilege for me, and I do not take it for granted. And it's not like the way we even became friends. It's not like I came to you and I'm like, I want to be.
Seriously, it just happened. It just happened. Hey, Toluwakemi, can you hear me? Hello, Toluwakemi. Oh, Holy Spirit. Toluwakemi.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. It stopped
All right,
for some moment. Okay, I can hear you
all right.
now.
So I want to say thank you, and I'm proud of you. Thank you for doing this. I'm proud of you. When I saw the invite, I was like, because I'm really on a break. I'm really on a kind of
Wow.
break because I don't want to do any invite. But when I saw your invite, and I'm like, okay, all right.
Thank
And then
you.
I checked in and I found out that okay, there's a green light reading, and I'm like, okay, all right, no
Thank
problem.
you.
All right, so thank you so much. Well done. I love what you're
Thank
doing,
you.
and I'm super proud of you, sincerely. I'm very proud of you.
Thank
All right, so
you.
real quick, a topic was given to me, and while you gave me that topic, funny enough, I didn't even pay attention to the topic. I just saw the invite, and I'm like, okay, we'll do it. But when I started preparing for this, and I saw the topic, and I'm like, okay, breaking. Like I was like, of all topics, why this particular topic? And something dawned on me. Then something dawned on me, that there must be something. God is deliberate about my experience. That was what I learned, because this is something I don't want to say I've overcome. I don't want to say I've gone out of it yet. I just want to say that I'm grateful to have passed through this, how will I call it now? This experience, to have had this experience. It's just like this guy in the Bible, David in the Bible, going to the wilderness and then picking stones, so that this babe said it this morning, and Della said it today, and she said that you have to have spiritual CV. It's like my own CV, is my own personal CV. I'm like, okay, thank you. And as I was thinking and I was meditating on it, said share your experience. So what I'll be talking about today, right, is basically the stones that I have picked along my own journey that I now want to pass across to you. So let's say if you're watching the replay, you're currently watching now. Awesome, super, super awesome. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for joining. And yeah, let's have, one of the things I love to do is I love to have fun in every conversation I have. I see it as a conversation. So let's have fun together. Let us have fun together. All right, so real quick, the topic is breaking labels as a visionary, breaking yourself off labels. So what does it mean? What do we mean by that? What are we talking about when we talk about breaking labels, right? So good. So the first thing I want us to talk about, I love the way the Della talked about it this morning. Della really, really dealt a lot about everything that has to do with who a visionary is, the definition, and all the good stuff. I love it. I love Della's session today. If you haven't gone through the session, please go watch the replay. It's very, very important. I love how she talked about it. For me, a visionary, what do I mean by a visionary? A visionary is someone who sees the future in something, or in something, in a nation. Basically, a visionary is someone who has caught what the future of something will be. You understand? So for example now, I want to talk about myself a little bit. In 2019, I told you I'll be sharing my experience, by the way. So in 2019, I remember so well when WhatsApp opened up to me. WhatsApp opened up to me, and I could see a place whereby people could use WhatsApp as business, people could use WhatsApp as networking. So that was a future I could already see from now. So that is what. So for example, now maybe in your career, maybe in your church, in whatever you do, if you have the ability to see a clear picture of what the future of it can look like, one of the things I learned during my journey is to understand that not everybody actually have that opportunity. So one of the things I believe is that it's actually a privilege to be a visionary. Being a visionary is a privilege. I found out that then, and I'm not trying to downgrade my friends and all this stuff. No, I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to say that I could remember when we were in school then, and someone would say a particular something, they would talk about something, and I can already see 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and then they'll be telling me to like, me calm down. We are talking about now. We're talking about now. Visionaries actually live a lot. The mind of a visionary lives a lot in the future. The mind of a visionary, it lives a lot in the future. A visionary wants to see the possibility, what it can become. A visionary is always caught up in that revelation, in that mind space first. And the beautiful thing about being a visionary is that you get to, like, it's like a visionary gets to open up, like you get to prepare a table for people to join. You get to prepare a table for people to join. An example of a visionary is our good mother Mommy DDK, people like this guy in what's it called? This guy that owns black this black American network, is a visionary. People like that are visionaries. They open it up, they can see the future. And then if maybe you are watching this and you're like, me too, I want to see futures like this, I want to see future. That is why I said it is an opportunity, it's a privilege. So don't beat yourself down if maybe you don't get to have that. Don't beat yourself down. You just focus on what you can do. Do you understand? So, but if you are a visionary, I am currently watching this, please and please and please and please and please, let's get to work. You and I, let's get to work. Having said that about visionary, then what do I mean by labels? What do I mean by labels? What do I mean by labels? Right, when it comes to labels, labels is a particular phrase, is a particular concept, is a particular phrase applied. You apply it towards something. And one of the things I love that the English dictionary said about labels while I was checking the dictionary is that English dictionary says something. It said that it is inaccurate or restricted. It said labels are inaccurate or they are restricted. And when he said that, it caught my attention. That is to say that, does it mean that labels are actually it's just something we just map out in our mind? I was just thinking about it in that aspect. So this is what I want to say, that when it comes to labels, as a visionary, you have to be very, very deliberate, intentional, and you have to be precise with it. You have to be very, very careful with it. You have to be very, very intentional. A similar word to label is tag. For example, while we're growing up or sometime, you just see someone and people you just say they've tagged that person as this, they've tagged that person as this, they've tagged that person. So it's very, very important. It is very, very important. I said something here. I said that labels are identity sensitive. Labels are identity sensitive. Now, to me, I really didn't know this on time. I remember sometime in 2020, while I was under pressure, overwhelmed and stuff, I would always speak to one of my sisters, Balola Bolaji, and then, she would always talk to me. We would talk, we would deliberate about this thing called label, this thing called, I'm going to talk about it later on, labels, identity, and branding. I'm going to talk about those three things later on, but let's continue like this, And then she would talk to me, and then she would be like, Toluwakemi, I believe God wants us to concentrate more on our identity. Now, as a visionary, you have to understand that your identity is paramount. Your identity is very, very, very paramount. Do not compromise on your identity. If you compromise on your identity, label will come into place. Yeah, label is identity conscious. Now, another thing I noticed about a lot of us currently, a lot of we youths and all currently, is that, for example, if we get so good at something, for example, you get so good at Instagram, you get so good at Facebook, you get so good at fashion, you get so good at electric something. The next thing we want to do is we want to give it a name. We want to give it a tag. We'll come up with things like Instagram premium, fashion premium, logo premium, things like that. I hope you are getting it. And
Very
things
right.
like that are very, very identity sensitive. You have to be very, very careful, because there's something that kind of thing does to your mind. It makes you think that is all that you are. But that is a very, very wrong perception, because as a visionary, you have to be able to understand something that is not that word fashion premium is not all that you are. It is not all that you are. I don't know if I need to say that again. That title you gave yourself is not all that you are. So you have to be very, very, very careful. You know, as a visionary, your ears has to be in tune with the Lord so that you can hear and He can tell you that this is who I have called you to be. You know, I remember some time ago when I was in Part 1 OAU, accounting, right? And then we used to do this prayer meeting, my friends and I, and then we will pray, we pray, we will pray, we will pray. And then boom, one day, you know, I received a prophetic word, and then this word just, you know, this word was, I can say it now because I'm beginning to embrace it now. You know, this word was the fixer. And then immediately, come on, I started calling myself the fixer, the fixer, the fixer. See, the thing you call yourself repeatedly, they have a vibe, they have an energy, they deposit something in you, whether you like it or not. See, that is why meditation is very, very important. Meditation and confession, very, very important. You understand me? I hope I'm not jumping too much. I'm not jumping by, I don't know, I'm not jumping my lecture, no. But this is very, very important, and you need to understand this big thing that you know. I just hope you are getting me right. So what I'm saying is that they are identity conscious. You know, you see this thing and you're like, okay, I'm a brandpreneur, and then you start calling yourself brandpreneur. Are you sure that is all that you have? Are you sure? You know, I used to see a lot of people, and then you know they will want to introduce themselves, and they will say, "I am a purposepreneur. I am a brandpreneur. I am a woman minister." And then I was so confused, and I said, especially if you are starting out, please listen to this. Listen to this very, very well. Let me give you an encouraging word because I was once there. If you are just starting out, whatever you are doing, it is not a must to put a title to it. It is not a must to put a title to it. Accept that this is an expression of you. If you're a visionary, this is a part of you expressing itself. So please and please and please and please do not condition yourself and say that is all that you are, because that is not all that you are. Because when you do that to yourself, when it comes to a time when God says, my daughter, I know you've been doing education, but I want you to now go into politics. Don't say, oh God, everybody knows me as education. Why will I go? You see, you're already making people's label on you be your consideration, whereas God is saying, my daughter, all I want you to be is to be my daughter. You have to be the daughter I can send out. Do you understand me? So there's something I wrote. I said, when it comes to labels, there are two things. It can be direct and indirect. It can be direct in the sense that it can be you. You know, for example, I remember August, by the grace of God, it's almost a year now. August 2020. I remember the first time I heard you're a coach. People have been calling me coach before then. I refused to accept it. I said, please don't give me what I'm not. Because I understand who I am. When it is time for me to enter into that realm, it will alert me. So I used to refuse it. And then in August 2020, he said, you are a coach. I received that for me. And then that was when, even before I even accepted that title, that label, it took a time. It took some time. It took some time. I said, my coach, my mentor must be able to see this. And then one of those days, I was talking to my mentor, and he called me coach. And then I said, okay. So you understand? There are some titles that you give yourself. I'm not saying that. So even if you are giving yourself a title, a label, let it be from above. And there are some time, people will put a label on you. Now, one thing you need to understand about labels is that if you do anything consistently over time, people automatically, you don't have to be the best in the game, but if you do something over time, people automatically gives you a label. They will write the check of the label like this. They will come and put it in your doorstep. So the part of you, your responsibility is deciding to pick that label or not. Let me give you an example. When I was in part one, there were two Tolus in my room. There was Ambali Tolulokwe and there was Tolulokwe Adeyemi. That is me. Ambali Tolulokwe is she's a golden black babe. She's a very fresh black babe. Whereas me on the other side, I am chocolate, brown, black, mixture of the three, right? Now, people would come to the room and they would be like, we're looking for Tolu. And then people would be like, which of the Tolus? Now, they started calling us Tolu Black, Tolu Light. That is label. I wasn't interested. I didn't like it. I didn't like it because I'm like, why should you be differentiating us with our body color? I did way even before I knew anything called black is gold. That was even way before, but I just didn't like it. Do you know what I did? Power of choice. I refused that label and I decided to give myself a name, which is Toluwa Kemi. So if you are looking for me, you will say, I'm looking for Toluwa Kemi. If you're looking for my other friend, you will say you're looking for Tolulokwe. Can you see? So you actually have the power, like the power is in your hands to decide to say, oh no, I am not going to be what people are saying I will be. I would rather stick with who God has said I will be. Now, another question somebody can answer is, what about branding? What about branding? Yeah, don't you understand we're in the digital world? People need to understand me that I stand for this. Calm down. This used to be me. Like, you need to calm down. And the reason why I said that you have to calm down is because with every label, with every identity comes with its own responsibility and its own burden. Every label comes with its own identity, with its own responsibility and with its own label. This happened to me when people used to call me WhatsApp Queen. They still call me WhatsApp Queen, but now I have moved from a stage of accepting people calling me WhatsApp Queen and just accepting that is just people being people. And that is the truth. You know, I remember when people started calling me WhatsApp Queen, then I was always under this pressure to learn every updated, what will I call it? Feature of the application. I want to know the updated application. I want to know the updated this, updated that, updated this, updated that. I want to know. Then it got to a point, God asked me a question. He said, babe, the last time I checked, I did not say your destiny is to be WhatsApp Queen. This and this and this and this is what your destiny is. So you are not focusing on people and staying upgraded with people. You're no longer focusing on me. I was like, what? Because you need to understand that when you start saying things like, I am a this, I am a that, I am a this. I am a this has its own responsibility and it has its own burden. So as a visionary, please, and please, you have to be very, very, you have to be intentional about the names you give to yourself. You have to be very, very intentional. You have to be able to say, okay, what is the big picture, Lord? You know, Dela said something today. He said, the big picture is the focus. So you have to be able to say, God, what is the big picture? It took me some time to understand that my big picture is actually TOL creation, not WhatsApp Queen. I was so focused on WhatsApp Queen that I was ready to drop it. I was ready to keep having it and drop my main focus, which is TOL creation. So you have to be very, very careful as not to exchange your big picture for your small assignments. Now, I say something. You will always get labeled. You will always get labeled based on something you do consistently. Yeah, yeah. You will always get labeled. So the first thing I would say is, you see, don't let anxiety, the fact that, oh, what will people say that I am? What should people say that I am? What will people say that I am? Don't be so anxious about that you actually forget who God has called you to be. Don't. So you have to be very, very intentional about it. Now, let me say this to you, is that you can be different things to anybody and everybody. But what matters most is who you believe and you think you are. That is what matters most. You see, even in the Bible, God said something. He asked his disciples, say, who do people say that I am? Then not what he said after everything. He said, but who do you think I am? Because when all is said and done, eh, you are the one who matters most. Like, you are the real G. You are the value. You are the value. You are the real G. It is you, you, you. Do you get me? All right, let's go. There's one thing I want to say is that people will always have a definition of you, but make sure that you have a definition of you, and it is rooted in Christ. I said something here. I said perception is the new reality. Gone are those days when people start thinking, now perception is the reality. Know this, know the truth. Know this, know, be free. So don't be so consumed. Don't be so don't be so consumed and intrigued by who are people, who are people. No, you be rooted in your own identity, and that is the most beautiful principle thing. You. Let me say that again. You, like, you are the value. It is you. Let's go on. Now, I want to talk about practical things to do. How do you break away? How? What are the practical things? Okay, to tell me how it's already happening to me. How do I break away? See, this how was the how delivered to me. This how was the how I received, and it is the how is the how I've been living my life with currently. Number one, see, do away with anxiety. Don't be too anxious. Don't be too anxious. Don't be consumed by anxiety. Anxiety is not your friend. See, you have to learn to calm down. Don't be so people. Don't be too people focused. Don't be too people focused. What if I don't show up? What if drop all the what ifs? Calm down. That is the first step. Calm down. I know this feels like heavy. Yo, you're supposed to be giving me English. You're supposed to be giving me all those. But see, there is no bigger vocabulary language than calm down. Now, when you've calmed down, let me say this to you. People will always be people. You can't ever satisfy them. People will always be people. They will always be people. They will. So just calm down. Now, number two thing you need to do is you need to identify this label we are talking about. Did I give it to myself, or did people give it to me? Do you understand me? Did I give it to myself, or did people give it to me? Yeah, you need to be able to highlight it and say, okay, This label that is currently making me so on my toes. What's up with it? The people give me, what I give myself. Whatever your answer is, ask yourself, is this what God has called me to be? Balance it with the God identity. Balance it with the God identity. Balance it with it, because you need to be able to say, Haba, I know I've lived too much on this space. What do I need to do to bring myself out of it? Now, another thing you need to understand is that label you once had, let me tell you something. Time made it happen. Time is one of the things that made it happen. Time. There's something I learned about the principle of repetition. Don't respect if you're a Christian or you're a Muslim. Yeah, the principle of repetition. Whether you're a Christian or you're a Muslim, the principle of repetition is human-minded, is human-focused. So, as far as you're a human being and you can learn and you can repeat something over and over again. For example, you and I, when we were growing up, we grew up hearing people calling us, for example, me, we grew up hearing that. So as a result of calling us that over and over and over and over the time, it stuck with us. Now, you need to understand that label you've given yourself or that has been conferred on you over time, that has now become your identity, also needs time. To stop being your identity. So don't just wake up in a day and you feel like, okay, I want people to stop calling me this, and then you just stop. Or you now start getting angry that, haven't I told you? Haven't I? No. Give it time. When you give it time and you now start focusing on what God has actually called you to be, in no time,
So sorry about that. I think her network just went off, but she's trying to rejoin now. All right, she's back.
so that is what you need to understand. I'm sorry I went away. It was the network, guys. It was the network, but glad.
We understand.
I hope we are getting some things there.
Yes, ma.
That is it. You have to also give it time. And then another thing I made mention of here is that you have to be, you don't just say, I want to stop being that. I want to stop being that. And you're not doing anything. Know what you want to stop and start doing the right thing you actually want to do. Yeah, do it. Do it. I used to be the well-known WhatsApp queen. But then when I found out that wasn't purpose for me, it wasn't purpose for me. Then I found out that, okay, what exactly is purpose for me? Coaching is purpose for me. Influencing is purpose for me, right? Then I said, okay, how do I make sure I am grounded in this? I said, all right, the next thing to do is actually the things you are meant to do them. And gradually, I started doing them. Gradually, I started doing them. And now, the things that I want to be, the person, the way I want to be addressed as is what people are now addressing me as. So you have to understand those things. You understand me? So don't just say, I don't want to be this person, and then you're not actually doing that thing you actually want to be. So balance it. Balance it. Understand. Understand it. Do you understand? The next tip I want to give you is that get rooted in your identity in Christ. You know, one of the things I love so much that one of my mentors, my spiritual mother, has been doing recently is that the whole of 2021, she the whole of 2021, she declared it as the year to teach us about identity, and she has been teaching us identity over and over and over and over again every Tuesday. You know, things like that. Get rooted in your identity. Listen to messages on identity. Listen to messages on identity. Get rooted and grounded in your identity. Because, man, that thing is very, very deep. Like, is it that deep? Yes, it is that deep. It is that deep. I've met someone before, and then the person said, Toluwakemi, everybody knows me as this, but I feel led by God that this is what He wants me to now focus on, navigate this. I said, who actually gave you the other thing? He said, God. I said, babe, focus on that. She was like, my followers will drop. People will not be viewing my status again. People will unfollow me on Instagram. I said, the God who has brought you thus far can actually do it again. And then she was like, oh. Then she said, okay, how about my message has changed? How will I attract the new people? I said, the God who has brought you thus far can actually carry you. So you have to be rooted and grounded in your identity. You and God, synchronization. Like, you have to be power. You have to be best power. I remember mine too, when I wanted to like shift my focus away from WhatsApp marketing and then dive into coaching, you know, I was like, no, who will listen to me? You know, I had all those doubts, but the bigger picture, focused on it. I stayed focused on that bigger picture. And the day I got my first coaching client, oh my God, funny enough, I was not even interested. Like, I was not even paying attention. The person just slide into my DM, and then the person said, I feel I'm led by God to tell you this. You are my coach. I was like, what? What is that? So stay focused on that person who has actually called you. Stay focused on that, and that is what you need. Stop looking for acceptance outside. Focus on the acceptance from your inside. Be so self-aware that you and God, you guys have that connection. You guys have that, that gisting time. Be that person. That is who you need to be. Another point I wrote here is that be intentional with your focus. Boy, this one is very, very important. Be intentional with your focus. You know, I love the fact that Della also said this today. She said you have to be very, very intentional with your focus. When you say, okay, I am a WhatsApp, that you being a WhatsApp means all that you are WhatsApp queen. No. WhatsApp queen is just an expression per time. In this season, God wants you to leverage on this thing to advance what is about to push you into. You get me? Like, you understand?
to be very, very intentional about you to know when it is time to move on. That is what, see, if you rely so much on the labels, when it is time to move on, you will be thinking too much. Let me just put it like that. You will be thinking too much. But when you know right from time, you're already rooted in your identity. Right from time, you and God already have a synchronization. When it is time for you to move, it won't become an issue of what will people say. What will people say? What will people say? So you have to see all these things I've explained to you. These are the things that they were handed to me. I'm telling you, it wasn't easy because I was picking up my stones one after the other. And I remember sometime early this year, I believe it was the month of February, that the Spirit of God wanted to give me a particular assignment. And I was so focused on what will people say? What will people say? What will people say? He asked me a question. What is your purpose? Who are you? And I said, okay, this is who I am. So the particular assignment, what's up? By the time I looked at the assignment, I could see that the assignment was actually in who I am. And then after I understood that, I just ran away. Because by that time, I understood that the vision is the focus. Accolades are good. Accolades are great. People know me as this the day. Who do you know yourself? What do you know yourself as? What exactly is helping you keep your focus? I don't say, I said, lastly, I would love to round up now. I said, lastly, I want to talk about labeling and branding. It's very, very tricky. Very, very tricky. But to look at me, I want to brand my space. I want to brand myself. Calm down. One of the things I tell myself a lot. Two things I tell myself a lot recently is calm down and I love you. Like I tell myself that a lot recently. Calm down. Calm down. One of the case studies that the Lord God gave me when it comes to two people, majorly, two people. No, not two people. Two people, then one person as a then he gave me one person to learn from. There's this woman I'm currently working with. I'm so sorry, guys. It's the rain. No. There's this person I'm currently working with. This person used to be a business coach. When she wants to introduce herself, she'll be like, my name is, and then next I'm a business coach, I'm a sales coach. And then all of a sudden, in a timeline of 1 year, this person transitioned from being a sales coach into being a visionary, into being a prophet. And then I'm like, yo, what's up? Won't she lose followers? Won't she lose this? Won't she lose that? Won't she lose this? It was like God knew the question in my heart when this woman made a post about her journey. And she said that even she said it about herself, that even she herself, she was a little confused. But she said something profound. She said, but knowing who I am was enough conviction for me to proceed in the journey set ahead of me. God, that phrase has been keeping me going. It tells you that if you want to break free from labels, if you want to be the kind of person that does not walk in labels, you have to know who you are. Your identity is key. That's why all these, it feels like, oh, Toluwakemi, you could have talked about the mind, you could have talked about the soul. The identity solves a lot. Identity helps you solve a lot when it comes to breaking free from labels. Because in your identity, you get to understand that before I am what people say I am first who God says I am. If Abba says this is the assignment that I need you to embark on right now, you know that people notwithstanding, my yes to God is paramount. I hope you are getting this. See, people will always have an idea of who you are, and you have to be okay with that. You have to understand that. People will always, for example, before you listening to me right now, who did you have a perception of me? Who did you think I was? You have it. It's the same thing as you being in a conference and then they invite someone over. Immediately that person stands in front of you, you are already making assumptions about the person. Now, what the person does during the conversation, the value the person speaks about, like the value the person communicates. After the speaking engagement, we will now help you say, okay, this is not the kind of, this is not who the person is, this is who this person is. Now you now start saying, okay, let me calm down, let me calm down. This is that. So you are getting me. So you have to always understand that labels are not always right. Your identity is the key point, is the root of it. You want to learn how to break free from labels, be rooted in your identity. Be so rooted in your identity that you are convinced about it. So when people say, okay, this is who you are, you know the beautiful thing about when you are rooted in your identity, and people say, this is who you are. To you, they will be confirming what God has told you. It's not that what they said will not be your point. No, it won't. But they will just be acknowledging, they will just be proving the point of what God has said. But if you make what people are saying as your point of reference, you will actually miss God's point of reference. So, and then I'm not saying that when it comes to labels, I've already talked about labels a lot. I've talked about it a lot. So, another you have self-aware in to say, Kemi, these labels are already getting into your head. These accolades are getting into your head. You need to actually do a mind check. You need to do an identity check. So you are able to do a check. You're able to say, okay, am I still in tune with God, or am I already being very important? Be self-aware enough to say you're already getting distracted. You're already in tune with people instead of God. That was what I did, and I'm so grateful for it. That was one of the things I did, and I'm so grateful for it. I had to be okay. You have to be okay with the audience of one. Don't live in the label of people that you are so afraid of. What if people leave? What if people leave me? What if people leave me? What if people leave me? You have to be very, very careful about that. Very, very careful. Don't forget, it's not about people. It's about God first. It's the kingdom first. The two case studies God gave me was Punto Victory and Mommy DK. I had to keep these hands what labels, what identity meant to them. And I could see it from it that what matters most is your identity with Christ. People from the see, know that and move on. It's one of the things we say on Instagram when we say I am beauty, and then potato we always potato. Oh my god. I don't know why I had to say that, but
So true. So true.
I hope you get what my point. I hope you get my point. And then I want to say
Mm-hmm.
last that when it comes to branding, you have to be very, very careful. When it comes to branding, labeling is not branding. You have to understand that. Labeling is not branding. Branding is a decision you make to be known for something. Yeah, yeah. The decision you make, like an intentional decision you make to be known for something. That's why, as a visionary, you have to be very, very intentional. Your ears have to be in tune with the ears of God. You have to be able to hear and then know what you need to actually build. So that you are not building on a false foundation. You understand me? So that you are not building a facade of what you are, but instead you are actually building what God has called you. One of the people that really stands out for me in this aspect, right, is TMA, the Mrs. Aaron. She really stands out for me. I'm this kind of person, like, I'm very, 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 very observant. It's like being observant is like a spiritual gift I have. And the funny thing is, people don't know I actually observe a lot. They feel like, oh, she loves to talk, she's not. I'm actually very, very observant. I'm very, very observant with the way God is dealing with people. I'm very, very observant about it. And I could see in our journey. She is so focused on the assignment, on who God has called her to be, that what you call her, what you that you are from the outside call her, sincerely, I have noticed it doesn't really, really, it doesn't do anything to her. I remember there was a time I called her my coach, and she was indifferent. She was just so focused on the assignment. She was so focused on me getting what she wanted me to get, that all those labels, titles, they were not really moving. So and you have to be that person too. Don't be so consumed by what people call you that you forget who has called you. Very, very important. Very, very, very important. I would love to answer questions if there are any. I hope with this beautiful
Wow.
with these points of mine, these are things that I got. These are things that God handed to me. These are the things that I received. It's one of the things. It's like a toolkit that I've been walking around with this year. What I've been walking around with this year. I am so in tune. I am so interested in what God is asking me to do part time. I'm not interested in you calling me this, you calling me that, you calling me this, you calling me that. That even as a visionary, one of the things that I've really, really experienced recently is the fact that I meet people who are younger than me. I meet a lot of people who are younger than me and are doing great things for God. And then I'm like, there's this part of you that wants, there's this ego part of you that just wants to be the bigger,
On top.
I was like, Oje, you better be humble. So that you don't
Receive
get
sex.
confused. You better be confused. That
Oh.
is it. You understand? That is it. That the visionary you have to be that in tune. Very important. Very, very, very important. So that when you're ready, when the applause is entering your head down, babe, calm down. You're doing too much already. You're already getting. You understand? So that you can actually say hello, and you too, you can be like, all right, yes, ma'am, yes, sir. Let's carry on. The assignment has to be the focus. Name, drop it.
Mm.
The assignment has to be the focus. The assignment has to be the focus. If it is time for you to be known all over the world, the way it will happen, it will shock you. So don't be so that when people know me, no, it's not. You don't need it. You don't need it. The assignment. So, any questions?
Oh my God, Toluwakemi, you never cease to amaze me. You never cease to amaze me. Oh my God,
Really?
this is on another level, on another level. Wow. There's something I really love about Toluwakemi. Toluwakemi is not process at all. So when she started sharing her experience, I was like, wow, like this is someone that I've watched over time since December 2019 when we connected. And, over time, I'm sure anybody that has known her within that 2019 and 2021 now would see that she has evolved. And something about her is that it's not that she will just evolve and she won't tell you. She will carry you along as a community. She will carry you along in her processes. That's one thing I notice and I respect so much about her. If you want to purchase something, she carry you along. And there was a time on her WhatsApp status that she shared when she started her YouTube channel with 0 followers. And when she now got, I think that was maybe 200 followers, she shares the steps, she shares the processes, and there's no shortcut. She will tell you there's no shortcut. So Toluwakemi is one person I greatly respect in that aspect, that she's not scared of sharing her processes. Thank you so, so much, Toluwakemi. Thank you for this. Thank you so, so much for breaking this table. Really, my note is literally filled up. Please, if we have questions, let's ask in the comment section. While we await that, I drafted some questions while you were talking,
All
and
right.
I would be asking. All right,
Go
so
ahead.
the first question, was it easy for you to break labels from the name the WhatsApp Queen? Because we can see that you have evolved. You are not just streamlined into WhatsApp. You are not just restricted, just like you define labels that it is restricting. Now we see that okay, you are not just restricted to WhatsApp. You are a coach. There is so much about you. You are into personal development, the youth development platform, and you have so many things that are not even WhatsApp related. But people knew you as the WhatsApp queen then. Was it easy for you to break from that label? Was it easy for you?
Wow. There's something I said while I was talking. I talked about time. Talk about time. That
Yeah.
when it comes to labeling, when it comes to this, time is very, very important. And all through 2019, just look at this time frame. All through 2019 into 2020, that's like at least 12 months, at least 15 months of being called WhatsApp queen. And then moving into 2020, then in 2020 around August, and then being at the feet of the Father, and then he's saying to me that you've lost focus. WhatsApp queen is not the focus.
Wow.
I remember that time. If you can still remember, I called you. We had a conversation. I had a session with
Yeah.
you. I had a mindset session
Yeah.
with you. And then he had to say, you need to build the mindset needed. You need to build the mindset needed. And then he started talking to me about understanding that the fact that WhatsApp is a tool is not the thing. It is just a tool. you understand? I had to like. So what I'm trying to say is that I'm not saying it was easy, and I'm not saying it's not easy. I'm trying to let you understand that time is a factor, whether intentionally or unintentionally, you pay attention to it. Over time, over the place, over the activity of doing, it helps along the way. So remember what I said. Don't be so, I want to break away from this, and then you are not actually doing what you want to now do, all in the name, and then you keep saying, I want to break away, I want to break away. So around August, when I started breaking free from it started from my mind, and then gradually, the same time that it took, I needed to start giving it time, and then I started focusing on the things that I actually have been called into, which is coaching. So I remember that was when I started something called, that was when I started doing my business coaching, started doing my business consulting, and then gradually I started moving it into mind, into business, to mind, then moving into personal development. I started moving it into coaching other amazing married women. You understand? So as a result of now doing these other things over time, now remember, I didn't throw WhatsApp marketing away. I didn't throw it away. In fact, I currently have an online course in it. But there is a way my mind is now on a level that understands that these things are stones you pick along the way. They are not just the focus. So now I use WhatsApp. I
Wow.
use my WhatsApp now. I use my WhatsApp to do influencing, do business coaching. My same WhatsApp. I'm currently using it to build a brand. I built a community with it. So you understand? So I'm not saying that throw it away. No, that's not what I'm saying. Don't misquote me. I'm not saying throw it away. Don't throw it away. Understand that it is a tool to help you move towards the main focus. So by the time I now
Wow.
changed my mindset from seeing it as the focus, I started seeing it as a tool. Then gradually, I was able to tell myself, you need to build structure with this. You need to be able to know how to go on with this. So that way, I was now having a full trip. Like I was not enjoying the journey. You understand? So that is
Yeah.
what I would say. I'm not saying it is easy. I'm not saying it is not easy, but I'm saying that the first thing I did was the mindset. And then from the mindset, I got to understand the big picture. From understanding the big picture, I now understood that it is a tool. It is a tool, it's not the picture. So I said, okay, all right, the volume is low. Why is the volume low? I don't know why the volume is low. I'm so sorry, guys. So that is how, little by little, I now started, you understand, started evolving. And then the last thing I'm going to say in this place is that you have to understand that you are human. You are human. If maybe you are there and then you be trying to transition and stuff, you are human. You know the funny and amazing thing? This month, literally, it happened August 2020. This month again, August 2021, I received an instruction. I received an instruction to transition into something else. And I'm like, what is
Wow.
going on?
August seems to be a special year for you, month for you.
On. Do you understand? So that is
Whoa.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So you have to. And then the last thing I'm going to say concerning this is people helps, in the sense that people you surround yourself with. For example, my friends, they help a lot. They help a lot. And then, friends that you can actually talk to, friends that actually hear from God too. That it is not just any kind of
Mm.
friends. Friends that actually hear from God also. Friends that does not just know you by the flesh, but also know you. from the spirit. So through talking to friends, they could say things to me like, I perceive it for you also. I perceive it for you also. I believe you should pray 3 days. I believe you should, friends like that, they can actually help you. They can help you help yourself. So I'm not saying it is easy. I'm not saying it is hard. I'm just saying that it takes a process. And those processes, go through it and you will be able to see how it turns out for you.
Well, thank you so much. Then the last question: how do you handle the fear of execution? Because just like you said now that you received another instruction, I'm very sure there will be times and days when you are scared.
My sister,
So, like, how do you handle that fear of execution?
my sister. It's not easy. It's not easy. But one thing that has really helped me in that aspect when it comes to execution is knowledge. I know a lot of people maybe you're expecting me to say something else, but it is knowledge. Immediately I found that I would have to transition into something. I started decreasing my knowledge gap about it. I started asking people that I have interacted with in that aspect. I started asking them questions like, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? What do you think about this? I've been checking out online courses about it. I've been doing this. It is a career change, by the way. That's why it is a career change, by the way. You understand? So I've been like, okay, I've been decreasing my knowledge gap about it. That's the first thing I'm trying to do. Don't forget, the G part about it is locked down. I already have a green light about it. So the second thing I do after I decrease my knowledge gap about it, the second thing I do about executing is I understand that I cannot do it on my own. I understand that I can't do it on my own. I can't do it on my own. So that begs the part of understanding, okay, is it people that I need? Is it platforms that I need? So I started asking myself questions like that, what do I need to make this happen? What are the things I need to make this happen? What are the things I need to make this happen? Now, when it now comes to the people side, what I mean by people is, how do I let people know that I'm transitioning? How do I let people know that I'm transitioning? For me, what I do is simple. I make sure whatever I'm transitioning into, I have results about it. So I'm not just coming to you to tell you that I can now do this, and then you are like, prove to me. You understand? Because one of the things I found out about people is when people see your results, followership is very, very easy. Followership is easy when people can see results. Do you understand? So that is it. I show people the proof. I show people the results. And people are able to say, wow, if you can do this, no problem. I'm ready to follow you. And people are willing to follow me regardless. And people are able to say, okay, let's do it. So are you I don't like, I mean, are you downgrading the fact that don't you get scared? I do. But where is my heart? My heart is in God. So regardless of how I
So
feel,
true.
regardless of how everything is, the main point, everything is still, Haba, are you saying to go? Are you saying to go? If he says to go, it might be gradual. That is one thing I tell myself. My obedience might be gradual, but my obedience is certain. It is certain. It might be gradual, but it is certain. My yes is my yes. And then I start taking it bit by bit, step by step, step by step. Because I'm actually I'm very, very intentional about process. I've learned that one of the things I've learned about myself is that my process always have a story that God wants to use. So I am always very deliberate about my process. So I don't just want to be the person that cannot relate when you are sharing your story. I don't want to be that person. I want to be as much as possible. I want us to relate, and I should be able to tell you, okay, because I found out that I always have a case study for everything. I don't know why, but it's one of my gifts, and I've embraced it. So that's why my process now,
Wow.
I'm always very, very deliberate about my process. So my yes is certain, the response is gradual. I'm like, okay, where is the next step? What 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 is the next step? I'm always asking, what is the next step? I'm always asking, what is the next step, so that I can know the next step. Do you understand? And then lastly, execution starts from the mind.
So
Execution starts
true.
from the mind. When I said that my yes is certain, that phrase there is my mindset talking to you. Is my mindset talking to you. When I pray and I receive instructions, my mind says yes first. You understand? My spirit says yes first. Then my head cannot be looking for ways to merge with it, though. But my spirit, my mind, you're on point. You understand?
Wow. Wow.
I remember when this year, Spirit of God said, you have to take out time. And I said, take out time. I'm launching a ebook. I'm launching a course. How do I take out time? Funny enough, my spirit and my mind already agreed yes. And then I was just like, okay, what will happen? What will happen? I'm just like, that yes is the yes, no matter what. And then I'm
Yes,
doing
ma'am.
that by the grace of God this week, going offline. My yes is yes.
Wow.
That is it. So you as a person, when it comes to executing things, as a visionary for God, you have to have a absolute, like, I don't know, maybe pastor calls it absolute faith. So, but you have to have that absolute decision that I said something while I was speaking. I said it comes with responsibility. Being a visionary comes with responsibility. It comes with responsibility. So that is that responsibility. You get to say yes. You get to say yes. You get to say yes. You get to say yes.
Wow.
Do you understand?
Thank
And saying
yeah.
yes
Okay.
is a privilege. I remember the
True.
day it dawned on me that, when people tell me something, and this has really helped me a lot when it comes to coaching. When people tell me something, I can literally see 2 years, 3 years of that particular thing. I'm not trying to be, this is me just being sincere with you. I can see the 2 years, I can see the 3 years of that thing. And then when I'm trying to communicate it to someone, and then the person is like, let's just stay focused on 1 month. Let's just stay focused on 2 months. Let's just stay focused on 3 months. I understand that it's not everybody that gets the opportunity and the privilege to be a visionary. Do you understand? So that
Yeah.
that you're a visionary, gosh, that alone is a whole Thanksgiving prayer for me. It's a whole and
Wow.
God still listens, and God still hears us. It won't change concerning that. And if
True.
you are there and you don't know how to start, you don't know where to start with, I can tell you this for free. Get a coach. Get a coach. Get a coach. I don't know why I had to say this, but I'm just saying it in case you are there listening and then you are like all confused and everything. Get a coach. I can't tell you,
Wow.
2020, I had the opportunity to either pay for something or pay for somebody to coach me. And instead, I paid to be coached instead of getting that flimsy thing I wanted to get. And I am currently grateful that I did that. The same thing in 2019. The same thing. So get a coach. You are trying to do it on
Wow.
your own. You're trying to do it on your own. How far? How far? So far. How far? So far.
True, true.
That's
You know, this is something most people don't know. Most people think they can just DIY some things. There are some things that can't be DIY'd. There are some things that Google won't tell you. And there are some things that free classes won't even give you. But if you get a coach, this coach has already seen where you will be from where you are and is ready to hold your hand. So just like Toluwakemi said, please get a coach. Wow, this is
as a
the bang.
visionary, very, very important. As a visionary, very, very important. Very, very important.
Mm,
You need a place where you can always fetch water. You need a well you can always fetch water from. You need a well you can always fetch.
wow.
Even Jesus had that well. So how much more you and I? So let us get
Seriously.
that well. You need that well. You need it. All right. Thank
Wow.
you so much.
Thank you so much, Toluwakemi. This is awesome. This is, oh my God. My journal is filled up. And I know I'll still watch the replay again. Thank you so much for availing your time. Thank you so much for pouring into us from your wealth of wisdom. Really, we wouldn't forget this day in a hurry. Thank you so much. I hope when we call you also as usual, we would do this purpose together again.
Hey, don't worry. It's the
Thank
stage.
you. Yes,
Hey.
sir. Thank you so much, Kemi. And to everybody that joined us live, thank you so much. I see the comments. And to those who were even unable to make comments, thank you so much. And to everybody that will be catching the replay, thank you so much. Really, I do not take it for granted because I know that your time and your data is being used. But there's value in should I say you are getting value for your time, you are getting value for your data. Thank you so much for joining. We'll be having the last session here also by 4 p.m. with Barry Lynch, and it's going to be awesome. He's ready for us, and he has been we've been talking since, like, he is just so ready to just come and pour of himself. It's going to be great, and there's an announcement also coming up after this evening session, the last session. I want you to be there, invite someone, and have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye, Toluwakemi. We love you.